This MSNBC reporter was not happy at all when the man himself, the actor for Dwight in The Office, completely destroys, completely dismantles her and the mainstream media's entire woke narrative, their entire lying agenda that they have been pushing for years and years. So we're going to go ahead and check out this video today. This is absolutely fantastic, and it shows you that even Hollywood celebrities are starting to see the truth of what is going on. So The Office star mocks lefty media for digging their own graves.
40% of Americans don't trust mainstream media. Why is that? How did we get here?
Listen, we are seeing a huge loss in trust of all of our institutions. It's the media, it's medicine, it's banking. It's a huge problem because when you...
It's a huge problem to have distrust in institutions and establishments that have been taking advantage of the American people for decades at this point. That's a problem to you guys?
Think about democracy and all of these pillars. They need to stand tall. They need to stand strong. And sort of losing that trust is not by accident. It's by design.
You're talking about democracy and all that stuff here, yet you want to continue to limit the access that people have to truth and to information. You want to continue to limit what people can have access to, and you want to be in complete control of all of the information. All of the information, all of the power you guys want to have. That does not sound very much like democracy to me.
You remember when President Trump was running the first time, Steve Bannon once said, the goal is to blow the whole thing up. And so I think that you've got...
Yes.
Mistakes made or things starting to slip, while at the same time there's a concerted effort to destroy the media. Because the media, the news media, is, in my opinion, the last line of defense of holding power accountable, right? And you had a bit of a perfect storm, right? President Trump won, and tons of people were shocked or angry or frustrated, and they're tuning out. And at the same time, you have the Elon Musk media machine, because they want you to leave traditional media, and they want you to go to X, which is a bastion of misinformation, where there is no fact checking. So it's a perfect storm of people saying, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm tuning out, I'm disconnecting. And then you have a force pushing it. But even in the last 2 weeks, what we need to do is just cover what's happening in America, right? We have to cover Democrats trying to figure out what their lane is and how they're going to get back on their feet.
Everything that she is saying here shows you exactly how out of touch with American people the mainstream media is. She's talking about how, like, they are the last bastion of holding power accountable, and the way that they want to do that is by having the power over information, over the information that you get. And really, we are in a war of information. Information is one of the most valuable assets in the entire culture war that is happening, and the mainstream media understands that.
And we have to simply cover what this White House is doing. And I think if we do that, right, there's that saying, you know, trust is gained in raindrops and it's lost in buckets. And it's not yes, you're not incorrect that the media has lost trust.
This is where I would push back. When I see this kind of insight and passion being directed at the current administration, and the lack of this kind of insight and passion being directed at the previous administration, where, again, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about left-leaning news media organizations were kind of like, la, 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 everything's fine, look, the environment's, look, the economy's great, la, 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 immigration's not that much of a problem, and really being Cleopatra, queen of denial, thank you, boom.
I would push back on immigration.
And of course, she starts to spurg out when he started to push back at her. But he is completely correct here. And she does not like that, because the mainstream media does not want to be held accountable. Now, of course, Rainn Wilson is someone who is kind of, another liberal whack job in Hollywood. Not much of a surprise there. But he is someone that is willing to have a little bit of common sense, to push back on the nonsense here, to directly point at the problem of the mainstream media. It is awesome that we live in a day and age where the American people, you and I, everyone, can have access to all of the information, and that is a good thing. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.